Hi, these are the TinyChange Student Planners. This is for students who are 13 years and above, and this is an amazing planner which will help you plan not only the academic life but also the personal life and social life of students. Before we get into the details, let's understand some specifications about the planner. The planner comes in two different cover options. One is more of a teal color, the other one is a beige color. This has the quote which says follow your dreams, and this one has yes you can. The cover options are different, but the content inside both are exactly the same. Both these planners are B5 sized, which means it's 60% bigger than the standard A5 size planners we have. And the planners also have a pen loop on the right side, two bookmark ribbons below, and also has an elastic enclosure loop like this, which you can use to make sure the planner retains its shape over time. So since the inside is the same for both the planners, let's keep one aside and then go through the inside pages of the planner in detail. Once you open it, you will see TinyChange Student Planner. This is where you write down your name. There's a message from the creators, how to use this planner effectively, your guide to academic and life excellence. There are some tips out here. Then you get into some learning content. These are essential for students to know. Some of them might be new, some of them might be things that you already know. It's more like a refresher. First, we talk about the cone of learning for better retention, how to memorize and remember things more. What modes or methodologies should you use to remember more while you learn? The second learning material is about critical thinking. What are some of the intellectual standards you should use while thinking about anything, right? These are like mental models that you can use at various points in time, both in your academic life and in your personal life. There's also a section on the multiple intelligences theory proposed by Howard Gardner, which basically says that there are multiple types of intelligence, and typically people measure only one type of intelligence in schools and colleges, but there are multiple types of intelligence. It's very important that you know what these types are, and you will also be able to associate with yourself some of those traits that you already have. There's also one page on Holland's personality traits and careers. This is a framework which helps you understand, depending upon which category you belong more to, right? What are your possible career options, right? And it explains what does each group mean, like realistic, investigator, artistic, social, enterprising, conventional. What are the things that typically like, and what are the kind of things that you typically do. So you'll be able to understand which of these personality types resonate more with you, and then that explains what are the best career options if you fall under each of these buckets. Okay, now we'll get into the section of self-discovery. It's very important that before you do any sort of planning, to take a journey within yourself. You need to understand yourself better before you start all the planning, right? So this is a section to help you understand yourself better through self-exploratory questions, right? So this section is called Discovering My True Self. There are multiple questions here for you to make you think and write down. There are 11 questions here. And then the next section is called My Inner Compass. This is for you to understand what your belief system is like, what your values and principles are in life. Then you clarify some of them while you write them down. And then you go into defining your core values. The questions earlier will also help you towards the section. You will identify your top values and then define those values out here. Then you make a note of what are some of the rules that typically strive to live by or you want to live by. Those things go here. Then there's a page for you to write down all your life achievements until this point in time. Whatever it may be, small things, big things, all those goes here. Now going forward in the future life, what are your dreams, aspiration, goals? What do you want to always do in life? What are some of the things that you always want to achieve? All those things go here, your dreams and aspirations and goals. This is a vision board. It's more of a pictorial representation of your goals, of the things that you want to achieve in life. You can draw them out, you can sketch them, you can take cutouts and paste them out here, everything that you want to achieve, right? It's a way for you to help manifest those things in your life. That's a vision board. Then you will note down the key dates to remember for the 12 months. Do note that this is an undated planner for 12 months, which means you can start using this planner at any point in time during the year and use it for a minimum of 12 months. So the best time to start using it is when your academic year starts, right? At that time you start using the planner and then use it for the next 12 months. What should your ideal week look like so that you'll be able to hit all your academic and personal goals? That's what you will define. This is also a good way for you to define, this is where you will do your personal work, this is where you do this, your play related activities, this is where academics go, which date you have extra academic related projects for you to do. All these will go here. This is like a template you're creating for an ideal week, which gives you most productivity and happiness. Also, what's your ideal day design like, right? When you start your day in the morning, what are things that you want to do or you typically like to do? When you end your day, what are things that you want to do, which will help you? Also, before you sit down to study every day, what's your study time routine like? Do you want to put everything on airplane mode? Do you want to get water ready at your end before you start studying? All the things that you want are available to you, right? So whatever they are, make them note of them. Once you close your study, what are things that you will do? You clean up the place, make sure that things are set well for you to start the next day off with minimum friction, etc. All that will go here. That's your ideal day design. There are spaces for you to write down the timetables, your academic timetables, up to 4 of them, can be for different terms or different semesters. Now there's an interesting spread called the subject summary, right? In your school or in your college, you would have multiple subjects. Here you have the ability to write down the details for up to 8 subjects. For each subject, you can write down which semester trimester it's applicable, main teacher, email, the details of the teacher, supporting teacher, other important details about that particular subject, and the lessons or the chapters or the lecture topics that is there within that particular subject. So this is where you will write down under each subject, this space where you write down what those subjects are, right? Mathematics, chemistry, organic chemistry, right? Or industrial engineering, etc., psychology, all that will go here. The subjects that you're learning you can write here, and then you write all the details. And this will give you a bird's eye view of all the subjects available in that particular semester or for the year. There are 2 sets of pages here. If you want to divide it for 2 semesters, you can use both the set of pages. You also have a spread for writing down the details of all your friends and batchmates, 2 pages. You can write down their roll number, name, contact details, birthday, very handy for you to remember when the birthdays are, and some notes about them, right? What do they like or what do you want to do during the birthdays, right? Etc. can be noted down here. Academic contact details like principal, academic coordinator, etc. All the important personalities related to academics, their details will go here, handy, quick reference page. Non-academic contact details of your educational institution can go here. Now these pages explain in detail about each section, the monthly planning pages, which we are explaining in this video, but at any point in time you want a quick reference, you can go back to these pages and then understand why was a certain section defined or designed and how can you use that section effectively, right? The week and the day planning pages explain, and then you get into the actual planning pages, right? So this, as I mentioned earlier, is a 12-month undated planner. There's a certain structure that repeats for each month, for each week. I'll get into that. Each month will start with a master plan for the month. This is where you first make this the calendar for the month. Is undated now. You will make it your calendar by noting down the dates. Which month is it? You will write it here, and then my top 3 goals for the month, and I'll make this month great by. You're setting your intention for the month here. Then you have the lesson or the study plan for the month. So similar to the earlier spread that you had, subject summary, you will write down all the subjects here on the top under the subject 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there are the weeks come here and the days within each week comes here, right? Monday, Tuesday, all the way to Saturday. So if a certain subject like organic chemistry, right, you want to study on week 3 because there's a test the week after that, you will make a note of that here, right? Or you are attending a certain lecture about subject 7 in week 2 and you want to do something, you want to remind yourself to do something before that. All that will come here. It's like a summary for the month. Under each section, what are things that you need to do or you want to do before a certain thing happening or something that you want to remember. Anything can go here. It's a lesson or the study plan for the month. Now, it's very important during academic life that you stay physically and mentally healthy too, right? So that's why for every month, along with the study plan, we also have a personal tracker spread. And the personal trackers have been divided into 2 sections. One, which is in blue color, is for physical health related metrics. And the black ones are the mental health related metrics. 4 of them for physical health, which is sleep, water, healthy diet and exercise. And for mental health, it's reading, hobbies, entertainment, and friends, right? So are you doing all of these every week? Are you planning for them, right? So for physical health, you can sleep, how many hours you slept, you can mark them out. You minimum expect to sleep for, say 6 to 8 hours. How much did you get sleep every day? You can track them out here. How much water you had? You need to at least have 8 glasses of water. So did you have that? Did you have a healthy diet for breakfast, lunch, snacks, and dinner? You can tick it off if you did. Also, if you did some exercise at various days, you can mark them out, how many minutes of cardio, how many minutes of strength exercise, right? And reading, it's just a tick mark. You can write down what you read, for example, or hobbies that you pursued at various days during the month, entertainment, what you had, or time with friends. So at the beginning of the month, you make a plan so that you touch all the 8 different metrics, which are all important for your physical and mental health. In a way, nothing is too much, but you get a little bit of everything, right? So that at the end of the month, you feel you're not only progressed in terms of academics, but also in terms of physical health and your mental health too. Once that's done, the planning for the month is done, you get into the daily and the weekly planning spread. So this is a spread that repeats for 52 weeks across 12 different months. And on the left side is the starting piece, which is your plan for the week, and the right side is the end of the week review. In between, you have planned for each of those 7 days in the week. So in the week planning section, you have month off, week off, you write down which month and week it is. The to-do list for the week, which is not specifically identified for any particular day, but you need to get done during the week, you write them down here. There's a weekly challenge. It's like a wellness challenge, a mini wellness challenge, something for you to do to improve some area of your health, wealth, happiness, or wisdom, right? And then there's also a reference resource. This is more like a simple learning resource that everyone who's studying, it's good for you to know. It'll improve either how you memorize things, how you work towards something, how you learn, etc., etc. These are carefully curated learning resources, and you can use your phone to scan the QR code here. It'll directly take you to a video that explains this concept in detail. So as an example, for the first week, we have the Feynman technique. You must have probably heard about it. If not, it's a very important thing that you must know. Understand a method for learning complex concepts by teaching them to others in very simple terms, right? So you scan the video code, you'll be able to understand more about Feynman's technique. So this is the planning section for the week. You fill this out, try completing the weekly challenge sometime during the course of the week. Do check out the reference resource, and then you plan for each day. For each day, it's in columns here. While you start each week, you'll also note down the days for that particular week in this base here, like 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 of a certain month. What are the things that you need to remember to the top 3 things that you remember for the day? It can be assignments, the things that you need to complete for your academic work, to meet somebody, have a discussion, etc. If there are tests or projects or submissions that you have, you will write them here. Assignments that you had for the day that you need to remember. You may get an assignment on Tuesday. For a Friday, you will make a note of that here so that you don't forget about it, right? It's out of sight, out of mind. So make sure it's in your sight and so in your mind. So make a note of all of those things. And then you also have a daily plan. Here's where you can track down, okay, 9 to 12 you're doing this, then there's a break. After that, you have classes, then you have tuition, etc. All that daily plan, the timing or the simple schedule for your day will come here. And then at the end of the day, you evaluate yourself on two aspects. One is learning. How was your learning today? Were you able to learn well? On 5 stars. And then your overall mood for the day. Did you feel happy? Did you feel contented? How did you feel about the day? So you do this for the entire week until Friday. Saturday and Sunday, we are not, because typically Saturday and Sundays are not academically working. So we have kept those open so that you can use it whichever way it best suits for you. Kept it kind of blank. So if you only write down to-dos or things that you want to remember, you can use that space according to your wish. And at the end of the week, you have a week end review. The first section is this week in a sentence, right? If you are to describe the week that passed by in a sentence, how would you do it? Your achievements this week, the challenges you faced this week, and the advice to yourself for the next week ahead, right? From the things that you achieved, from the things that you learned this week, how do you advise your own future self, right? When you're stepping into next week, what are things that you need to keep in mind? That should go here in advice for next week. And then how did I do this overall week? The overall tracker for the week, how much score will you give you? Will you give a 5 out of 5 or a 4 out of 5? That goes here. So this is the daily and the weekly planning spread and the review spread for each week. This repeats, and obviously the learning resource changes every week. The weekly challenge also change every single week. And then you progress towards week 4, 5. You hit the end of month 1. There's a month end review also. End of the month review, what are your wins, enablers, self-evaluation, what are things you should continue doing, etc. All that will come here. And then, keeping the learnings from these in mind, you will plan for the next month, right? Again, it repeats, the same thing repeats. Plan for the month, lesson study plan for that particular month, which is month 2, personal trackers, discipline and health trackers, then your week trackers, right? So this repeats for 12 months. That's how the planner goes. And the fag end of the planner, you have another section called trackers and list. This is a very interesting one as well. So there you have assignment and tests or exam tracker. Now you can also note them down in the daily planning views, but in one shot you want to see everything that you have. You can make a note of them here, and there are 2 sets of pages here. You can write down the subject, assignment, exam details, date due, and the notes. If you want to divide into 2 semesters, you can use it for semester 1, and the same thing for semester 2. It repeats in 4 pages. Then we have projects, planning, and tracker. You would have different projects that you would get, academic projects, non-academic projects for you to complete. And those will go here. You can write down the subject that it is for, due date, details of the project, make a write-up of that, action steps for that particular project. What are the 5 things that you need to do? And what's the current status, right? Is it 1 out of 5 or is it 5 out? Is it completely done? And notes if you have. So accordingly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 projects you can track here, another 6 ones on the next page. So up to 12 projects you can track using this project planning tracker spreads. Then you have revision planning and tracker. And this is extremely handy when exams are coming up, when you want to revise. This is open because you can write down the dates for your exams, and when are you planning. It can be for a month, it can be for a certain number of days. You can write down which day, which time are you planning to revise which subject, right? So the same 8 subjects will go here. And then the status of revision also is here. You can track them out. So this also has 2 sets of pages of revision, planning, and tracking. You also have marks or grade tracker. You can track for each subject the different tests that happened, what date, how much marks do you get, or if it's grade, you can make a note of that. That is available for 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to 8 subjects for 2 different spreads, right? Can be for 2 different semesters. You also have a list to track some of the concept, the formula or information you should remember. Whenever you come across something that your professor says, or you come across a certain article somebody shares with you, you overheard something, you can make a note of them here. You can write it down in question and answer format, so it's very easy for you to revise whenever at various points in time. There are 2 sets of pages for those 2. You also have a spread for noting down the feedback that you received from your teachers or lecturers. Which teacher, what was the suggestion, how will you apply that to improve your academic or personal life, right? That you can note down here. Then recommended reading resource that can be suggested by your friends, your teachers, or you read somewhere. A certain academic resource, was the author, title, for which subject, and what the states have you read it, have you summarized it, etc. can all go here. Then concepts to refer and learn online, right? You came across a very interesting concept where you saw a YouTube video and you want to make a note of them, you want to learn about it later. So what is the topic? For which subject do you think it's relevant to? Where did you get it from, the source, and the status, have you learned about it, or you want to explore more, will come here. 9, it's very important for you to also do extracurriculars, right, along with curriculars. So what are the activities that you want to pursue? When and where will you do it? What's the status of that activity? Have you tried it? When you tried some of it, you may not want to pursue forward because you just tried it and you didn't probably like it. But some of those activities you may like very well and you want to pursue forward. So you can tick pursuing also, right? And you're rating for that particular activity. And your notes, once you tried something, right? It can be, say, painting, want to try out. You tried and you're pursuing it, you love it, it's 5 out of 5. And then what are the next steps that you take to make that activity as a part of your normal day-to-day lives, to make it a hobby, convert that? What are the steps that you need to take? So extracurriculars tracker. And finally, the compliments you received from either your friends, your teachers, etc. at various points in time, all that will go here. You also have some cool planning stickers that comes along with the planner. Is a small sticker, small mini poster codes that you can put up at various points. Some icon stickers, some gold foiled stickers here, and another set of gold foil stickers here. I've tried this out somewhere, that's why it's missing here. You also have some blank dot grid pages in case you want to make some simple notes of something while you're carrying this planner. That's space for the two. You also have the calendars available here. So you also have a very handy pouch here on the back side to keep some important things, right? So this is the TinyChange Student Planner again, to cover options. If you are a student who's above the age of, say, 13 or above, studying in 9th to 9th and above, or in college, or you're trying to pursue a subject, right? This may be a great help and a great companion for you in your learning journey. So thank you.